Hey everybody, so I wanted to do a video that I've been meaning to do for a long time and a lot of people have asked for, and it's to do or to show you how to apply makeup for different eye shapes, or rather eye placements actually. So it's more to do with like whether you've close set eyes or wide set eyes. Now saying this, a lot of people who have wide set eyes like to enhance that, which is fine, and a lot of people with close set eyes don't feel the need to you know, balance it out and make them seem more wide set, but a lot of people do, and it's something that can be easily kind of you know, faked through makeup. So this is a tutorial to show you how to make your eyes appear slightly more close set. So it would probably be more suitable for people who have wide set eyes, or even who want to accentuate their close set eyes, and what I mean by that is to make the eyes appear like they're closer together, or draw the eyes together. So it's kind of a smoky eye I've done for this, and I've done this eye already, so you can see the main things to do is that it's almost the reverse of the classic smoky eye, where you have, you know, your light highlight in here and your dark colour out here. It's almost the opposite. I'm more highlighted here and it's dark in the inner corner. So I'm just going to go ahead and start on this eye to show you how I did it, and show you a few tips with eyeliner and eyebrows and stuff to help you achieve this. So first step, as usual, is to apply a primer to your eyelid first of all. This is just so that the eyelid grabs onto the eyeshadow better, that the eyeshadow lasts longer, that the colours are more vibrant. Then the next step is to get your highlighter, whatever you choose. I will show you the palette I used in a while at the end, but just use whatever colours suit yourselves. And just press that highlighter all over that brow bone area. Next, choose your lid colour. It's not so important what colour you use, as long as it's not too dark. So nice, relatively middle of the road toned eyeshadow, and you can focus it a little bit more on the inner corner and blend a little bit above the crease. Next, use a pencil brush or whatever you have and apply that underneath the lower lash as well, the lower lashes. I'm going to put a tiny bit of a highlight colour just in the centre of my lid. This is optional, it depends on your eye shape. If you have a flatter eye shape, then your eyes aren't quite so deep set, you can skip this. This is just to help balance out my eye shape because I have such a prominent brow bone. Then next, I'm going to use just a slightly lighter colour and blend that a little bit above my crease on the outer corner. So I'm not using any dark colours in the outer corner like I usually would if I was doing more of a classic smoky eye. And next I'm going to get my eyeliner, and I'm using Teddy by MAC. It's a lovely kind of bronzy brown, not even bronzy, like a metallic-y brown with slight gold undertones in it, and it's a kohl pencil. So I'm just going to apply that to the waterline. Now oftentimes when I'm doing a smoky eye, I don't necessarily always bring the eyeliner right in to this inner last corner of my eye. Do in this case, in this instance do, because you really want to put emphasis on the inner corner of your eye. So make sure you do that. And then another little tip is to ever so slightly wing down from this inner tear duct area. You don't want it to be really obvious or harsh. So if you want to get a Q-tip, I have a tiny little one here. These ones are great, they're from Muji. And then just blend it out so that it's not like a little spike coming out from your eye area. Now I'm just going to get a slightly darker gold that I used here. You can kind of see it coming through the dark colour. I like layering colours like this sometimes when I know I'm going to put more of a matte dark brown over it, because it's nice to have a hint of an iridescent colour coming through, or more of a metallic colour coming through, so that it's not just so flat and boring. I'm just applying that to the inner corner Now work it up into the eyebrow. Now if you have more space between your eye and where your eyebrow starts, like a lot of people's eyebrows are, you know, a lot higher up, you obviously probably won't want to bring your eyeshadow right up until your eyebrow. You can just fade it up a little bit, like you would fade it if it was on the outer corner. Now I'm going to use a little smudge brush. This is my NYX smudge brush. And I'm going to pick up a matte brown. Any dark matte brown will work, it doesn't matter. And apply it here to the inner corner underneath my lower lash line first of all. And almost just reinforce that little wing a little bit. And you can go back in with your lighter colour that was on the pencil brush and just blend that down a wee bit. Now for my upper lash line, I just wet my brush a tiny bit and I'm using the same brown eyeshadow. And I am just drawing that close to my lash line. Now here, my eyeliner, I'm going to allow it to peak a little sooner than normal. Don't know if you can see on this eye, I've peaked the eyeliner right here in the centre of my eye. Normally I would peak it maybe 2/3 of the way out or even 3/4 of the way out. But again, I don't want to draw attention to the outside of my eye. I want to keep it more towards the centre and the inner corner. So I'm going to peak it here and then draw it down towards the end of my eye. So this is another thing that will help give the illusion of your eyes being slightly closer together, and then just have it go down to nothing really at the end. You're not winging it out or anything like that as such. I'm using the same gold I was using a little while ago, just to add that to the outer corner, just so it's not so boring, but it's still light. It's not going to pull it out as such like the way eyeliner would. And now for the dark brown, like you see here, which is really what gives the illusion of those closer set eyes. So I'm picking up the dark brown I was using as my eyeliner and on a fluffy brush. And if you can imagine this being a triangle, so like this, this and this. So that triangle area here in my inner corner, that's where I'm applying my matte dark brown. And I just keep applying that to this inner triangle. And again, I'm bringing this up into my eyebrow. If your eyebrows are much higher up, just fade it up a little bit above your crease. You want to make sure that the line where your eyeshadow meets your nose, or the bridge of your nose, isn't too harsh. So just make sure you soften that as well with your blending brush. And draw a little bit of that dark brown over onto the start of your eyelid. So for your mascara, there is a way you can apply it so that it doesn't draw attention to the outside of your eye. And this is to more fan the eyelashes rather than pull them out. Generally, you'll notice in most of my videos that I apply my mascara towards the outer edge to really pull them up and elongate my eye. In this case, I'm going to try and fan out the eyelashes more. Brush the inner eyelashes towards the inside of your eye, the centre up, and you can brush this out a little bit without totally wringing it out. Almost brush it up rather than out. And really make sure that you coat the eyelashes right in towards the inner corner. And then the same thing with your lower lashes. Coat them from the right inner corner to the outer corner, but rather than pull the eyelashes out of the outer corner, pull them down. This is actually a very like 60s, 70s way of wearing your mascara, where your eyelashes were really fanned, like in a 180 top and bottom, or 360. So you can see I've already darkened up a little bit of the inner corner because my eyeshadow has gone up into the eyebrow. And again, to give the illusion of your eyes being closer together, I'm going to put more emphasis on the inner half of my eyebrow. So I'm brushing just a brow powder, normal eyeshadow will do. Use a colour that suits your own colouring. And I'm brushing that up into the hairs. And then I'm not doing the outer edge or the outer half quite as defined or dark, so that most of the emphasis will be on the inner corner. So just like so. And now just set that with a brow gel and that's your eyes done. One thing I forgot to mention about doing brushing your eyebrow hairs is, rather than brush them over, try and brush this inner section up. You know, you can neat it up a little bit so it's not too spiky, but so that you're not drawing all the hairs over, because again you want to keep more of the emphasis on the inner corners. But that's the eyes done anyhow, and when I'm zoomed out you can see now more how the entire look comes out, how there's more, you know, it's more obviously drawn together and my eyes don't look as you know, as wide set as they sometimes do with other makeup looks. So yeah, with the tips that I showed you today, you don't obviously have to do a look as dramatic or dark or whatever as this. Use whatever colours you want, change the eyeshadow placement a little bit and all that, but just use them and, you know, change them, mould them to suit your own techniques and eye shape and all that. But they're just a few of the tips that I know for helping achieve that closer set eye look. And the only other thing really is the eyeshadows I used today are from my Sedona Lace palette. So it's my 168 palette. It's not important again what colours you use, because use whatever suits yourself. But in regards to the Sedona Lace stuff, Sedona Lace were kind enough to send me a coupon code. So if anyone is interested in ordering any products off their website at the moment, if you put in the code Letzmakeup, which is capital L, everything else lowercase, I'll put it below anyhow and on my blog, you'll get $4 off your order, and that should help with shipping and stuff like that as well. So yeah, I hope this was helpful, and I will do another video coming up now to do the opposite, so to enhance wide set eyes, or to give the illusion of more wide set eyes if your eyes are more close set, etc. So yeah, I hope this was helpful guys, and I'll talk to you really soon for another video. So